Man City are having problems finding a striker. Arsenal are having problems all over the pitch. We're having a few technical difficulties, and I can't even get my words out. What a start to the Transfer Exchange show. We are live. It's just past 7. It's just past 8 o'clock. And this is the Transfer Roundup. How is everyone doing today? We've already got people in the comment section waiting. Jerome, we have a fan. Jerome says hello. Boom.
Hi, Kate.
How you doing, Katie? Kate, sorry. Yeah. How is everyone? I see we've got people joining the stream already. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. That's it. Keep going. The more you hit the like button...
Come on.
That was Steve.
You don't get
Super Soaker. You don't. And you're going to get it here first. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you hit the likes because more people will join us, meaning more people get a chance to get this news first. And have we got some news for you? Arsenal fans, we've got some news for you. Man City fans, we've got some news for you. We've got Jerome in here giving an Youth FA Cup update. And he's got some player profiles to go through. It's a jam-packed show. Are you ready to go? Oh, I didn't mean to rhyme that, but it worked. And Jerome's even over there bopping his head as well. All right. How is everyone doing tonight?
Yeah, top draw.
Yeah. All right. Jerome, thanks for joining us tonight. How you doing?
Pleasure. Yeah, fine, thanks. Hello, everyone.
All right. And Steve, how you doing?
I'm all right now. I was panicking a bit. I didn't think I was going to be able to give our listeners this breaking news here.
Now, what we would have done something. What I might have had to, I don't know. I would have worked something out. The magic of TV and internet, and we could have worked something out. It wouldn't have been the end of the world. We could have done a voice call. It could have been more like, I don't know, could have made it more look like breaking news or something. I don't know. But you're here now. We've got sound, and we've got some top transfer news. All right, let's get it underway, people. Let's start off. No. Let's start off, with something close to home, It's the FA Cup, but not just any FA Cup, it's the Youth FA Cup. Jerome gave us a little rundown a couple of weeks ago on how they were getting on. And since then, there's been, I think it was the quarterfinals the other day. There's not much advertising on it, but I managed to catch the Arsenal game on YouTube. Not the last one they played against Liverpool, but the previous game. I think it's against West Ham. I'm not sure. But I managed to catch that game. So, there's probably an opportunity to just look for it, Youth FA Cup, see when it's on. But it's always good to watch them games live as well. So, first and foremost, Jerome, what we got? What we saying?
Yeah, so we've just had the quarterfinal stages of the competition. So now into the semis, and just a very quick note. Normally, the semis and the finals of the FA Youth Cup are normally 2 legs. But for this season, it's just the semi-finals and the finals just going to be 1-legged because of obviously what's going on. So so there are obviously 4 games, the quarterfinals. Newcastle played Aston Villa, and obviously all these games are actually at the first team's ground. The Newcastle Villa game, Villa won 6-1. They absolutely thrashed them. And a guy that we spoke about a couple of weeks on the show, Carney Chukwuemeka, scored a hat-trick.
You've nailed that now. Absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is a player. He's scored a hat-trick. His finishes were incredible. And, I mean, to set the tone really for the game, Villa went 1-0 up within a minute. And sort of from then on, they were just all over them. And, quite an easy win in the end. I think Carney Chukwuemeka had a big say in this game, not just because of his goals, but he has such an influence, especially at that level. He's been on the bench for the first team. He's
he was right there. I watched the highlights of that game, and he's bossing it. He's so integral in every single move they do. He's so good on the ball. And it's funny, he said, they were saying that he needs to maybe score more goals. And I think he scored 5 goals in 2 games in and around that as well. So, yeah, no, he's a serious player. Serious player.
Yeah. So
just sorry to interrupt there, but he was linked with someone this week.
Man United.
Was it Manchester United?
Yeah.
I'm glad you said it because it had gone out of my head. But yeah, player.
Yeah, as we mentioned, he's one of the most highly rated midfielders in the country. So Villa will be playing in the next round West Brom. So that's a bit of a Midlands derby there. West Brom beat Everton 2-1, and even though Everton took the lead, West Brom scored 2 goals within the space of about 5 minutes. And a guy that we mentioned on the show, although he was on the losing side, Thierry Small, the left back for Everton, played. And he had a bit of a chance near the end of the game. Had a really, really powerful shot saved by the keeper. But yeah, so that's one semi-final now. Villa West Brom.
Yeah.
The other 2 quarterfinals, Liverpool played Arsenal, and although Arsenal had a lot of the ball, they didn't have really too much end product, and Liverpool went 3-0 up, and then Miguel Aziz, who's been training with Arsenal's first team, scored a penalty, like a consolation penalty, and they sort of, a couple of Liverpool's goals, or one of them near the end, was like a counter-attacking goal, and I wouldn't say it was an upset, but I think Arsenal will feel like they should have done better in this game. They definitely didn't deserve to be 3-0 down, but that is cup football. So yeah, Liverpool beat Arsenal 3-1, and they'll be playing Ipswich in the other semi-final. Ipswich beat Sheffield United 3-2 after extra time, and feel a bit sorry for Sheffield United because one of their defenders scored an own goal with 2 minutes left. It's going to go to penalties. 2 minutes left, and an own goal won it for Ipswich. So the 2 semi-finals, just to recap, are Villa West Brom and Liverpool Ipswich.
All right. So predictions? You think Liverpool are going to win this one?
I don't know. I think Villa have got a great chance.
Yeah.
I think because some of these teams, they play players that, although they might be 18, are like ahead of themselves. That play maybe regularly for the under-23s. Villa just seem, based on their last performance, they seem so good. So they would be my pick.
And standout player is
it's got to be Chukwuemeka.
Chukwuemeka. Yeah, you've definitely been practicing that. He's waiting for me to ask you that question. All right,
rolling off the tongue now, that name.
All right, thanks for that, Jerome. Thanks for that. All right, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. And as I said, go and check that out on YouTube. You can actually catch all the full matches of the Youth FA Cup games all on YouTube, previous rounds, the last round, and I'm pretty sure that means they're going to be playing the semi-finals live on YouTube. So see if you can find a date for that. If I can find it, I'll put it in the comments in the description. So yeah, all right. Yep, let's crack on with the transfer roundup, as we know that's what everyone has been waiting for. All right. Celtic defender Christophe Agüero could be on his way to the Premier League, with Norwich thought to be very interested in the player, and a bid could be offered to Celtic within the next couple of weeks. Liverpool is still interested in Juventus defender Maya Dermel. Tutto Sport say Juve says Liverpool considering a move for Dermel, or pays Schalke 23 million to keep Ozan Kabak. What do you think they should do? Do you think they should keep Ozan Kabak, or do you think they should be looking elsewhere? Steve?
I think they should. I like them, Raul. I think he's a fantastic centre half, and I know Jerome did a thing on him when he was comparing him with Todibo at one of our shows. But yeah, he's a very good player. But as far as what I would do if I was Liverpool, I would keep Kabak. He's going to cost a lot cheaper. He's done very well since he's came to Liverpool.
Yeah,
and he's settled into the team. you never know what's going to happen with Demiral when he comes in. So it would seem a bit silly for me if they went for the big Juve guy, as good as a player that he is.
Yeah. Breaking news, or it's not breaking anymore. To Erik ten Hag extends his contract at Ajax until 2023. Foreign Lunas would like to join FC Bayern Munich. Boo! Stop joining Bayern Munich, people. Spread the love. Don't look at Timo Werner and think they can't hack it in the Prem. That's a one-off, and he's going to come good, Timo Werner. But come on, stop just going to Bayern Munich.
He's one of these Bavarians, and I think if you remember on a podcast a long while ago, going back one of our early ones,
the Bavarians stay.
Bavarians stay in Germany. They don't come out. So yeah, he's a bit of a homeboy.
Yeah,
so that could go.
He certainly is. However, he won't be. However, he won't be a target for the club until next year. Meanwhile, Liverpool are also interested in the player. And as Steve said, he's Bavarian. So it's very hard to move off on one of them boys. And the chances are they will just stay in Germany. Atletico Madrid have become the latest team to show interest in Pablo Dybala. And it seems the Spaniards are the most serious suitors. Dybala has his contract negotiations with Juventus for much of the season, but they have not made any progress. I do always wonder when a club comes out and says talks are really good, they're going really well. It goes quiet, and the next thing you know, it's like, yeah, they want him out of the club. It's like, how good were the talks going? Is it they just? It's just. It feels like they didn't really pander to what he wanted, so it was like, move on.
He wanted a lot of money, didn't he?
It's a money thing, isn't it?
It does seem like a lot of money. Yeah.
Do you know how much he wanted a week?
Oh, I do. I can't. I think it was 10 million. Don't take my word on that.
A season.
Sorry. A year.
No, not a week. I know. I know you didn't mean that. I know you didn't mean a season. A week. I know you didn't mean a week.
I think it was 10 million a year that he wanted, and they. But you see a bit of form recently, so who knows?
Who knows? Edinson Cavani has agreed a year extension to stay at Man United, has he? Fiorentina have put a price tag of 60 million on old Roma targets on striker Dusan Vlahovic. We'll get on to Vlahovic in a bit. Chelsea and Liverpool are leading the race to sign 30 million pound rated Ajax midfielder Ryan Gravenberch. Liverpool have already met agent Mino Raiola to discuss a possible summer move. Is his agent Mino Raiola? You're doomed.
Yeah.
Mino Raiola is his agent. That's always a shame.
He's going to eat him up and spit him out, poor kid.
That's always a shame. Now, do you know what? I thought he's only signed an extension, I think it's till 2025 in the summer. So I thought it would have just been a case of the rumours start settling down, because it's only his first full season in the Ajax first team, I think it is. Yeah. I know he broke into the team when he's had his debut when he was 16 or 17, but that's in and out, spits and spurts. But this seems to be his first full season. I just thought it would have just sort of settled for a couple of seasons, then potentially move on. But it's
too young.
With Mino, I know. I don't want this kid. This kid's a serious Rolls Royce of a player.
Yeah.
Don't want him to go to and make a wrong move now. Definitely needs to stay and play football, man. Borussia Dortmund, Fabrizio Romero confirmed. Michael Zorc said that Erling Haaland will not be leaving the club this summer, regardless of whether they qualify for this year's Champions League or not. He has a lot to say. Money talks, though, so we will see. We'll definitely see on that one. 1.7 million price tag is set for Arsenal as Stan Kroenke makes a U-turn in giving hope to potential investors. I don't know whether this is actually a U-turn, but Stan Kroenke was never going to turn around and openly say he's willing to sell the club. And he's always going to have a strong stance to say he's going to stay. I don't see him selling the club. I don't, unless there's a serious can't turn down offer. We do know from, I think Thierry reconfirmed that the guy from Spotify has actually put in a bid. Whether that anything comes off of it, I don't know. It remains to be seen. Do you see him? On?
Yeah, no. If Arsenal want, fans want rid of Kroenke, the only stop buying the free tops at the beginning of the season. Stop going in the army,
all three of them
mugs.
Yeah,
stop buying the tracksuit and the goalkeeper's kit.
Mm-hmm.
The football that's got Arsenal on it.
Yeah,
stop it. Don't go. Terrible thing, But because I don't go to the games. Don't go. Stop.
Yeah, but it's not
actually that don't just go for Arsenal fans. That goes for all fans. Just don't do it. Don't buy it. Don't give them the money. They'll soon go.
But it's not a case of. It's not a bad thing. If you're protesting and you're dead against the owners and what they're doing and what they stand for, then that is the right thing to do. But people don't do it. That's the problem, Steve. People don't do it. People don't follow through with it. They want to be wearing that Arsenal kit on the first day, and then they'll excuse themselves for why they're doing. Oh, it's like a thing in it, a timepiece. You got to get your kit. You got to support, but it's not. It's not. You don't. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be putting money into Stan Kroenke's pocket and then turning around and protesting. That's the thing.
Yeah. You're just being hypocrites. Then you're being a hypocrite.
It is.
And I don't say the Arsenal fans that are watching will. That's what it'll be. I'll be the same. If I all of a sudden go on Amazon and order a top or a thing up, I'll be a hypocrite as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna say Kroenke out, don't go to games, don't go to shops, don't buy.
I don't even know whether they're thinking. Are they even thinking about it when they're saying these things in their Arsenal tracksuit? Are they actually thinking about it? I don't know. I
don't think these people that are protesting at the moment. I don't think they. I'll be surprised if any of them can spell their names. I'm not being horrible. I mean, I've seen some people talk outside these protests and listen to them, and you think, I can take that. You're talking sense, but 3/4 of them, they're just there to, as you did in your video, fantastic video, one of the best you've seen. People go and watch that Kieran's video on his rant after the game against Liverpool Man United. It's unbelievable. It's fantastic. They're there just for, like you said, for pictures, for Facebook, and it's annoying.
Yeah, and that's not to say that's all of them, but I'm sorry. There's too many good profile pictures that were involved in these protests for me to think that everyone was there for the right reasons. So yeah, but we digress.
As we do.
Where were we? West Ham manager David Moyes wants a striker this summer, but will not be going in for Chelsea and England forward Tammy Abraham if his price is around 45 million. It is a big ask. It is a lot to ask. Tottenham are interested in 18-year-old Brazilian wonder kid Rodrigo Varanda. I can't believe I didn't get Jerome to have a look at this kid. That's poor from me.
Yes. Who's sorry. fine.
Fulham have watched 24-year-old Peterborough United striker Siki Dembele. He's attracting interest from Rangers, Celtic, Crystal Palace. No, that's another one I could have got for you to look at, Jerome. It's two in a row. I'm looking at these thinking, I don't know about this player. I need to know about this player.
He's having a Western tonight.
Absolute nightmare. Everton and Leicester are both preparing bids for Brentford striker Ivan Toney. Toney has scored in 44 games, has scored 30 goals and 10 assists. He's contributed to 40 goals in 44 games. That's unbelievable. Yeah. Wow. I just feel someone that's causing that much damage in the Championship is at least scoring 10 to 15 goals in the Prem. Like, it's very rare that you'll get a player in the Championship that's doing that much damage and isn't bringing a little bit of that, at least, to the Prem. It shows that there's some serious... He's a player. There's definitely a player in there. And hopefully he can do that in the Premier League as well, because I'd love to see what he can do. Lucas Vázquez has turned down offers from Atletico Madrid, Arsenal and Manchester United, according to AS. He's now he's very close to signing a new contract with Real Madrid. Ooh, doesn't surprise me. He's starting to get quite a bit of game time this season, isn't he? Jose Mourinho took charge of Roma, and he will be taking charge of Roma from next season. Let's get on to... Oh, hold on. Leeds are interested in Club Brugge and Dutch winger Neo Lang. Jerome, you had a little look at Neo Lang. What's he saying? Good player.
Steve, you like him as well, yeah?
Do you remember last week when I said Club Brugge have got a lot of good players? He was the one that was in my head.
Okay.
Noah Lang, very good.
Noah Lang. Yeah. So he's owned by Ajax and he's on loan at Club Brugge this season. But
that's it, yeah.
I think he's actually going to be joining Brugge in the summer. Like, they've sort of come to some agreement already that he's going to be joining Brugge for about €6 million.
All right.
So this is a 21-year-old winger that on his debut for Ajax, he scored a hat trick. When he first sort of broke into the team there, but didn't really make a lot of appearances for Ajax in the end.
Yeah,
he's a Dutch under-21 international, and he's basically been the best player in Belgium this season. He's been very productive. He's played 24 league games this season, and he scored 14 goals and had 8 assists. So that's pretty much a goal or assist every game.
Yeah.
Plays from the left, very tricky, does sort of like the unexpected things sometimes, and looks just a very, very decent forward attacking player that can do damage to defences, basically. That can find that final ball, even though it might be a little bit different perhaps. But yeah, very decent player.
All right. Thanks for that, Jerome. Thanks for that. Steve, let's get into a bit of Man City now. As the main post said, Manchester City are actually struggling to sign a replacement for Sergio Agüero, which is not a surprise with regards to the level that you need to be bringing in. But it is a bit of a surprise considering Manchester City. They have an abundance of money, and there's enough strikers out there, surely, isn't there, to find your man?
Well, you would think so, and the amount of them that Manchester City have been linked with over the last few months is quite a few. First, congratulations, Man City fans, getting into the final of the Champions League. But let's go on. One of the strikers that they've been linked to for quite a long while now is like Lautaro Martinez. He's got all the top clubs after him at the moment: Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, Bayern, and of course Manchester City. All of them have had talks with the Inter Milan striker, but it's more of finding a finding out mission, not of actually sort of offering for him. What clubs are prepared to pay if Martinez leaves Inter in the future. Martinez's choice is Barcelona. I've got someone I talk to very close to Barcelona, and he's told me this, and they see him as the future replacement for Luis Suarez. Bayern and Chelsea, they're not interested in. They don't want him. I've seen links, things on Twitter, on online. They're not interested in him. How much do they want for him? Inter want 80 million. And that would be if it was a single cash payment, or if clubs wanted it on terms, it would be 100 million. So, and what Man City have said, that both of these proposals are just too high for them, and that's a very unusual, thing for Manchester City to be in, but it actually looks like, really, as far as Lautaro Martinez goes, is that he's got to go and stay at Inter. So that's Lautaro Martinez. Then Manchester City are still interested in Darwin Núñez. We've spoke about him a while now.
Is that as their main man, or is that
no?
Yeah, thought so.
Yeah, no, not the main man. They won't be looking to him as their main striker. This is just someone that Guardiola's liked for a long while, and he's just continuously keeping his eye on him. They want a ridiculous price, Benfica, and so there's another one that's sort of going by the wayside at the moment. Another striker is Rio Sociedad's Alexander Isak. Again, another player who wouldn't actually be Agüero's replacement, but he would certainly be a very good, squad member. I mean, Borussia Dortmund are looking at him, and Isak has said that that's the place where he would rather end up, which again is quite unusual. The team he plays for, Real Sociedad, they're really in a lot of debt at the moment, so it's 100% likely that he will leave. But again, the money that they're asking for is 50 million, and for a second striker, it's too high for Manchester City. So they're finding things hard. Ireland, we know, as far as we're concerned, he's not leaving. And if that amount of money is too much, then Haaland's is. And then we move on to LA Eichmann from Burspor. He's attracting a lot of interest, a hell of a lot of interest from every single big club that there is. No need to name them, including obviously Man City. Leipzig have had talks with him. And also they've had talks with City. But City can't guarantee him game time. They've had the conversation, can't guarantee him game time. And while all this messing about with talking to City, he's gone and signed a pre-contract with Eintracht Frankfurt, who just can't. I mean, I'm assuming that's got to be a replacement for Andre Silva. It just that looks like that, doesn't it? So at the moment, it's not going well, is it? It's not going well for Manchester City. And another one that they've been linked.
Sorry, Jerome. You had a little look at Eichmann. You spoke about him before. What kind of a player it looks like Eintracht Frankfurt will be getting? Yeah,
very very pacey forward player that scored pretty much one in two, like one goal every 2 games, and he's just turned 19. But as an 18-year-old, he was like spearheading the attack of Bursaspor, the team he was playing for in Turkey, which were actually in the second tier of Turkish football. He's very much an attacker that is, puts defenders under pressure, bit of a nuisance on top of his ability as well. But yeah, to pluck someone out of the second tier of Turkish football, that's pretty good scouting. That is.
Yeah. Well, the German football, they don't leave any stone unturned. Trust me on that one.
Yeah.
Can you see him at somewhere like City, Jerome?
Well, Ali Akman, I don't know. It's a bit of a big jump, I think.
Yeah. So anyway, we go on to Romelu Lukaku.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard that Pep wants Lukaku. Pep don't want Lukaku. He's not City's first choice. He's about the third choice if they can't get who they want.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's an absolute no-go from the start, to be honest with you. I mean, Antonio Conte has already said he would leave if Lukaku left. So,
and he's a man of his word as well. You don't want to mess around with Antonio Conte.
Yeah, and I see the most ridiculous something from one of the papers about 20 minutes ago, breaking news that Conte will be having talks with Tottenham Hotspurs. What a load of old rubbish. I've never heard of so much rubbish in all my life. Don't believe it.
I don't think anyone does, do they? Why would Tottenham? Why would Conte go to Tottenham? What have Tottenham shown that anything that they've done, especially with Jose Mourinho, that Conte is the guy that they want to take over, because Conte is the kind of manager that if he doesn't get what he wants, there's big trouble. Like it kicks off. This is why he left Chelsea in the end, because he was kicking off too much because he didn't get the players he wanted. He wanted Lukaku, didn't get Lukaku. I totally get it.
Yeah, them two are not leaving. Again, they're just two names because so many people want a striker.
Mm-hmm.
They look at Inter and they think, oi, Martinez and Lukaku.
Yeah.
But if you've got half a brain and you look into it, it's not happening. It's just something that will not happen.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go on to Mr. Harry Kane. He's still the main place if he does leave Spurs would be Manchester United, and I heard today that he as well is not Manchester City's first choice. So they're really sort of.
So have they even got who's their first choice?
You know who I hear this from? Who's told me this?
Yeah,
so
but
this is true.
Yeah, it's not that.
But
it's not that. It's who is Man City's first choice?
I asked, and I'm not too sure. I don't know. I ain't heard, but I don't.
You've got a lot of people who they're not their first choice.
Mm-hmm. It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. Maybe when we finish this,
you go on, carry on.
Well, yeah, as I say, maybe when like all the ones that they're not interested in or can't go to them, we can come to a conclusion who it will be. But we go on to the Arsenal. Man City also in talks to sign a 24-year-old international, Kenyan international, plays for AIK. I think he's a left back. His name is Eric Coutinho. Mm-hmm. Man City sent representatives to Sweden last week, and they spoke to his agent, Jamal Imran. AIK will sell. This is a quote from Jamal. If the right price comes in for the left back. One thing I will say, this kid's absolutely rapid. Leicester are interested in him, but yet to contact the club. So as far as Eric Coutinho goes, there is a possible one there that they could get. But yeah, Eric Coutinho from the IK.
Jerome, I'm going to put this question at the end, yeah, but I know that Jerome is so indecisive and takes so long to make his choices up. I'm throwing it to you now, yeah. Who would be the ultimate striker to replace Sergio Agüero? Now, I'm putting that now because I'm going to ask that at the end of it, yeah? And I want to give you a head start.
All right, cheers.
All right, sweet. Yeah, all right.
It's a bit harsh, isn't it?
No. Jerome gets a head start because every time I ask him, he sits.
Yeah, I'm the thinker.
I'm going to have to leave it there. There. So I want an answer from him tonight because he never usually gives an answer. All right. So you've got the question as well there, Steve. But you're already occupied, mate. Come on, hit me with some more news.
True. Last week I was speaking about Fiorentina striker Dusan Vlahovic. I told you that Sarri was interesting if you went to Roma, but that ain't happening, is it? Before we all come back to me and say, well, you said Sarri. Well, there was actually quotes from the president of Roma. So, yeah, it just shows you how it changes at the last minute. Remember? It does change. Striker Vlahovic, Milan was interested in the player this week. Man City have again spoken to his agent, Dyko Ristek. He's confirmed talks. The Serbian has a contract until 2023. Fiorentina want to extend Vlahovic's contract, but talks have stopped now regarding to sign a new contract due to Manchester City's talks going a lot further than what they did when they first had their first talks. So there's a Dusan Vlahovic is probably about the closest one we're getting to Man City at the minute. Yeah, Dusan Vlahovic.
So is with it seems to be. It feels like they want to get two in. It feels like they want a first main striker and a sort of backup project kind of thing. But what does that mean for? What does that mean for Gabriel Jesus? Go on, Jerome.
Well, let me tell you why this is so tricky with Man City striking situation. Because Aguero's been number one for so long. Pep hasn't had to buy a new number one for Man City before, so you've got nothing to really base it off of. That is why this recruit is so tough for Man City, I think, because Jesus was brought in, probably not to be their main guy. So this is new for Pep at Man City. Also, I think maybe when he was at Bayern Munich, maybe Lewandowski was already there. Perhaps I don't think he's had to go out and he had Messi at Barca. He hasn't had to go out and buy his main attacking player. I think that is why it's so tough to predict who he's going to get, because we haven't seen Pep make a signing like this before, and that justifies me thinking about it long and hard.
that justifies me not giving you an answer again.
Do you remember right at the beginning? Do you remember right at the beginning of all this when we think, Aguero's going, they're going to get a striker in the summer?
Yeah, because it seems easy.
But at the time it was it's Haaland, it's Kane, but it's Martinez. Which one is it? It's got to be one of them. Well, Martinez is signing a new contract. Haaland's not going, and Kane's faffing about, who seems that he wants to go to Manchester United anyway. So now they're gone, and Pep's like Jerome said, where am I now? What do I do? Hence why I'm giving you all this information from bits and pieces that they're going to this player, to that player, to try and talk to this player. And hence the title of tonight's show. They're having problems with getting the striker sorted.
Yeah, and as well, Pep didn't even massively. Not that he didn't rate Agüero when he got there, but Aguero wasn't his first choice. Agüero wasn't his guy. I feel he wanted another guy because it was like Agüero had to play his way in, and he was just smashing in goals every week, and he couldn't drop him. He couldn't drop him. And then now it seems like, okay, he's playing the Pep way with the no striker and the false nine, and he brings in a striker, but the striker's like not playing as a striker, like because he's doing a Pep thing, isn't he? But it's going to have to get to a stage where you actually got to bring in a striker, and he's got to be your guy. And it's like, I can understand why it's so tricky, because trying to find a striker for Man City, it's that Uber player, isn't it? They've got to have a bit of everything, especially to fit into Pep's way of thinking, which is not what Sergio Agüero is. It's probably not what Lewandowski is.
I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is.
Go on. The suspense is killing me.
Sorry, my internet's going a bit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you now, mate. Yeah.
I'm going to log back out and come in, I think.
He wanted to make a statement, and he's broken the internet with it.
For most teams, the centre forward is so important.
Yeah, he's on delay.
Try to
Go back, come again. Yeah.
So what it is, I'll just finish off by, there might be a shining light for Man City fans. So you ain't coming here totally to be depressed, and I hope you ain't all crying in your tea at the minute. Well, I'm sure you ain't. I'm sure you're still trying to get over last night.
Being in the Champions League final, win the league, on for a treble still. Yeah, it could be worse.
But as far as the striker goes, for those of you who are a bit worried about it now, 3 months ago, we told you on the Transfer Exchange show that Raheem Sterling could be leaving City in the summer. We pulled it out. We was the first person to bring it out. He's struggled recently, and for large parts of this season. For large parts of the season, which has led to him losing his place to wonder kid Phil Foden, which ain't no bad thing, but it's not good for Raheem Sterling when you're sitting on the bench every day. Yeah. Real Madrid are interested in Sterling. They've been interested in him for a while now, but now who's come to the fold is Atletico Madrid. They've already put a bid in for 55 million.
55 million?
Yeah, it's not going to work. I mean, they're very interested in him. They're very interested in him. Sorry, 55 million. That's euro, isn't it?
It's getting worse. The 55 million.
Yeah.
For Raheem Sterling. Like we pulled up his stats not long ago. Like we pulled up Raheem Sterling's stats.
To be fair, this year those stats ain't great, and it's not so much that he's a bad player and his stats are that bad. It's just that he's not getting in front of Phil Foden or Mahrez, and you can't really blame him. He wants to play football. I mean, they bought him for 50 million from Liverpool.
Yeah,
and it's believed that City would let him go for 75 million. So if that was to happen, on top of, I think, the 100 million that they're going to be spending anyway, that I think Pep said in the summer, they just said their budget is 100 million, but they won't be spending 100 million on one player. With that 75 million, if Sterling goes, and I tell you, from what I've been hearing today, it's very possible that he might. And as I said, we was told 3 months ago that he could be moving on. there could be a nice extra 75 million in the bank on top of the hundreds for Man City to play with. But what do you think? What do you think? I mean, where is Sterling? Would you stay if you were Sterling? Would you move if you were Sterling?
Do you know what I think it is with Sterling? Yeah, he's been phenomenal. Like, not good, yeah, phenomenal, yeah, for the last 3 seasons. So this season looks like an off season. So this off season, yeah, is contributed to 23 goals he's contributed to 23 goals in like 44 games. 24 goals in 45 games he's contributed to. So it's 13 goals, 11 assists. And this is Raheem Sterling. And this is not this is not the best season for Raheem Sterling. If you look at his last season, 30 goals, 13 assists. The previous season, 25 goals, 20 assists. The season before that, 25 goals, 13 assists. This is why.
Yeah.
But previous to that,
but we're talking. But now,
outstanding.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is about the now. I mean, we're not sort of like, you know, saying that he's a bad player. As you say, he has gone off form and recently, and he's lost his place because of it. He may have lost it anyway. We feel Foden coming through, but I can't. Reason why I think this could happen, Man City fans who are watching this now, who will watch it after the show during the week, I can't find a place where Raheem Sterling will fit in to the first 11. He wouldn't be my starter. Now, a lot of people have been shouting at the screen now, saying, you know, what you're talking about, he'll play here, he'll play there. But he doesn't get in my 11 for my City's first 11. So that's why I feel that he really could be moving on this summer. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it doesn't get into City's first 11 because Phil Foden has been one of the players of the season, and it's not even. I don't even think he's out of third gear, if I'm honest. Mahrez has been exceptional. He stepped it up. He seems to have found a new level of discipline. He just smashes it every week. Like, he's just calculated now. I don't. Raheem Sterling leaving is a massive thing, I think, because any team that gets Raheem Sterling is getting a top player. But I don't think he should be sitting at any team really on the bench because he's in. What is he? He's 20. He's 26. It's ridiculous. He's 26. Yeah. It seems mad that I'm saying Raheem Sterling's 26. Like, he's not even in his prime yet. So no, he shouldn't be sitting on the bench anywhere. He needs to be playing.
Can I ask both of you, like, but do you feel that Sterling is there a club in England where he could go? Or, I mean, Atletico Madrid, I think I'm not having that, to be honest with you.
I think Atletico Madrid would ruin him. I think he'd be playing at wing back. He'd be playing covering. He's essentially he's more than a winger. He's an inside forward. I think Atletico Madrid would be the wrong move. I don't know.
This country.
Oh, there's plenty of clubs that he could go to. I think there's plenty of clubs that he could go to in this country. Whether Man City would sell him to them, but I think that if Atletico Madrid have put in a 55 million bid and it's out there and people hear about it, I don't think it'll be too long until other clubs will put in a 55 million, 60 million bid. Do just to see what they're saying. I know they're saying 75 million, but it's the way things work, isn't it? Throw in that. Let's try and meet in the middle. But I can see quite a few clubs coming in for him if he's out and out up for sale. If they're saying we're willing to listen to offers, I think there'll be a fair few clubs coming in for him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind him at Arsenal, but
I'll love him at Arsenal. I love him at Arsenal. Love him at Arsenal.
Again, it's a money thing. We don't know. We don't know what Arsenal's budget is.
2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps, mate. We do know. We see it.
Probably
we see it.
But yeah. He's one of these person that needs to play as well. I don't know what you think.
He needs to play.
He needs to play because he's got that type. He's got that attitude, doesn't he? Where he does get a bit umpy, doesn't he? You know, he's a bit of a. You know, he needs to play football.
Yeah.
I mean, this country. I mean, I don't know. He could go back to Liverpool. You know.
I don't think Raheem Sterling wants to be going back to Liverpool. After the digs they gave him, the fans ripped him to shreds. I remember when Raheem Sterling was like playing week in and week out at Liverpool, and I know Liverpool fans that were getting frustrated with him at that point. I was thinking, he's a kid. Like, he's a kid. Yeah. He's just come from the Championship. Like, he's a kid. Right, give him a break. You've seen what he's become.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
It will be interesting to see what happens. All right, thanks for that, Steve. So Man City in the search for a striker, struggling, surprisingly, but I'm sure they'll find someone by the end of the season.
I'm sure Jerome's thought of someone.
I can see it. No, my words, Jerome. If I give you till next week, will you have someone?
50-50.
Newcastle United and Italian club Atalanta have shown serious interest in Vitesse Arnhem Dutch defender Danilo Doki, who has also been linked with Norwich City, Fulham and Scottish champions Rangers. Jerome, what's he saying?
Yeah, very, very imposing physical centre-back.
Looks like a lump, doesn't he? He's massive.
Yeah. He's the nephew of Winston Bogard.
Yes. Anyone that don't know about Winston Bogard, he recently got released from Chelsea last season after being there for about 45 years, I think it was.
Yeah. He was this guy, Danilo. He was playing for Ajax's B team. And then he moved to Vitesse a few seasons ago. And Vitesse Arnhem, who he plays for, they've got one of the best defensive records in Europe in terms of goals conceded. They haven't conceded too many goals, and this guy's been like a big part of it. As I say, very, very physical, won't get bullied, uses his body very well, lots of slide tackles, like he's the master of the sliding tackle. And yeah, you could see him move into a Premier League club and not, in the physical side of things, won't bother him at all.
Pace? Has he got pace?
Not a bad turn of pace, but I think he relies a lot on sliding in. And if the defender gets ahead of him, he'll slide in because he's so long. Yeah, he'll sort of slide in and win the ball like that.
Not
Not
he's
bad.
Long. He's long. Yeah, I can see him. I can see if he's sliding in. That's a Rangers. That's a Norwich. Do you know what I mean? One of them last ditch defenders. Yeah. Well, keep him away from Arsenal. Keep him away. Another player you looked at was Arnett Danjima. I think spoke about him a few weeks ago. Clubs have revealed they've shown interest in him from Bournemouth in January, but he didn't want to leave as he wanted to. He didn't want to leave mid-season amid interest from Ajax, Southampton, and West Ham. I've watched him a few times. He's a serious player, isn't he?
Yeah, so I'll tell you who I think he reminds me a little bit of. Maybe not as many flicks and tricks, but a little bit similar to Ben Rama, who West Ham side from Brentford.
Yeah, very
Maybe a little bit
direct.
like that. Yeah, cuts inside a lot. Scored a lot of goals this season, and he has actually in 2018 he got a couple of caps for the Dutch, the full national side.
Where was he at before?
He was at Club Brugge. He joined Bournemouth from Club Brugge. So, and he did join them while Bournemouth were in the Prem, but he only made 6 starts for them in the Premier League. But this season in the Championship, he scored 15 league goals. Like big dribbler, lots of take-ons.
Yeah,
and Ben Rama's the sort of player he reminds me of a bit.
Yeah, he looks decent, very direct. Looks like he could cause. It seems like he could have probably done what he's doing now in the Championship in the Prem, but he just needed confidence and game time.
Yeah, exactly. Needed to settle in a little bit.
Another player you looked at: West Ham are interested in Crystal Palace. West Ham and Crystal Palace are interested in RB Leipzig player. Could cost him around £10 million. Any good? He's a striker.
This He Chang
This
Wang.
is Hu Chang Wang. Yes.
Korean. Yeah, 25-year-old. So as you say, he's at Red Bull Leipzig, and he joined from the club in Austria, Red Bull Salzburg, only last summer, and he spent about 5 seasons in Austria with them. Had a couple of loan spells, and last season was really productive. 16 goals, 16 assists, and his nickname is the Bull for his aggressive style. And this season he hasn't really played much, hasn't really got much of a chance at Leipzig. But when he played against Klopp's Liverpool, he was raving about him. A real sort of handful for defenders, similar sort of style, I'd say, to Luis Suarez. The way he plays.
It's funny. I think Crystal Palace are in for a striker who can't get in over a striker that they sold to Terence Burr, who is now at Leipzig as their main striker. So it seems a bit odd that they're going to be going for a player that's keeping him out of the team when this guy couldn't even get into the Crystal Palace team. So interested to see. But yeah, horses for courses. One man's trash is another man's treasure, and it could just be, it doesn't suit his style of play. So we will see. All right, thanks for that, Jerome. And there's a little bit of Arsenal news, because I know you wouldn't be too happy if we didn't bring the Arsenal news. We're going to start off this way. Steve, there was links to Guido Rodriguez, but there was a little bit of a difference in the amount they wanted to pay. I think it was you were saying.
Slightly.
On there? Yeah, ever so slightly.
Same bit of news I got this morning. The bit of news I'll be telling you after this, which is the main bit of news, is I choked on my cornflakes twice this morning. This was the other one. Arsenal are not in for defensive midfielder Guido Rodriguez. Arsenal have looked at him and they've had a chat with a cup of tea. But the gap, like Kieran's just said, is just just ridiculous. It's too big. It's an astronomical gap. Arsenal feel that 25 million euro is the price that they would pay for him.
So that's their magic number. 25 mil.
75 million euro. So we brought this one up today because it's absolutely everywhere that Arsenal are buying this guy. But take it from Transfer Exchange Show, we are not buying this guy. And even if we was, it would mean either Partey and Xhaka leaving, and Partey and Xhaka are not leaving. Another thing that this would, this may tell us, is that with Arsenal putting in a I mean, he's a decent player. With Arsenal, saying 25 million for a really decent defensive midfield player, I'm telling you that he's Basuma for 45 million. He's not.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't even know if Brighton would sell for 45 million. Like, he's their main midfielder. I'm trying to say, he's their best player. But it's probably about 2 or 3 in that squad that are around the same kind of importance. But he's one of their best players.
No, he's not. Basuma wouldn't be coming in, and whether people think he should or they shouldn't, he's not coming in to take the place of Partey on Xhaka. Yeah. And if you ever attempt 2 centre midfield players, then the guy who's playing in front of them, right, is not a Basuma type player. So sometimes you just got to use your brain and your head and your football brain or knowledge to work it out without even sometimes hearing anything.
He might take Xhaka's place.
But I don't know. He could take Partey's place. But he could take Xhaka's place. But do you pay £45 million for a kid who's been playing for a team at the bottom of the Premiership? Okay, looks good. He does look good. Would I buy him? Not a chance. If Basuma was 24, 25 years old, maybe I would. Maybe I'd think about it. But 19, playing for Brighton at the bottom, playing well, nah. Not a chance. That's too much of a risk for me. There's a load of other players out there, much more experienced, who you could get less than that. I mean, look at Thiago Alcantara. They paid 30 million for him. 45 Basuma. Nah. Not for me anyway. Not for me.
Oh, I'd love Alcantara for 30 million, but Arsenal just ain't got the negotiating skills to get anything like over the line.
Yeah. Do you think he could take the coming then and do a job, Joe?
Who, Basuma?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd be brilliant next to Partey. I think he'd be absolutely perfect. Him and Partey as the main guys in central midfield. Legs, strength, exactly what we need. I think it'd be perfect.
Yeah. As I say, I don't know too much about the guy. I don't. Sorry, Brighton fans. I don't watch Brighton that much to sort of give a. I don't want a kid next to Partey. I just don't. I don't want a kid. I don't want. We've got enough kids. I mean, we'd have Smith Rowe, Basuma, Saka, Martinelli. I mean, we'd have the under 23s. We might have to play the under 23s.
He's not that young, Basuma. He's not that young. No, he's 24.
Oh right. Oh, I've got that.
Yeah.
Oh well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So yeah. But Arsenal are not paying that money anyway. I don't think. And Xhaka's not. I can't see Xhaka leaving.
I'd like to see Arsenal bring in a Locatelli, but they wouldn't do that. They couldn't do that. Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, I don't. It's an awkward one. The price tag just too. And to be honest with you, I've not seen too much of him to make that of a really good judgment. I just don't think there's no way Xhaka's going. Really, I just can't see it. I just can't. I just at the moment, any one of the Arsenal players, I really couldn't care less if any of them went at the moment. Because I think there's better than them out there, than all of them. So the thing is, there's one thing. There's one thing. Arsenal, if Arsenal want to get rid of these players, but it's another thing. Some club buying the player. Like, we can talk all day about who could replace who, but it's who do you realistically see any club taking from Arsenal? And there's quite a few players in there that could do with going, but I don't see too many clubs in the market for any of our players. A few, a Bellerin maybe, but that's a push. And I think that would have to be a good deal for them, because I don't know too many top clubs out there that are looking for a right back of Bellerin's stature, because he's not going to come cheap. Whatever people think of Bellerin, he's got an image which you pay for. This is business. This is the world we live in. So you're paying an extra 10, 15 mil for the Bellerin earring and the fashion show and the talking and whatnot. You're paying for all that. I don't see too many clubs forking out what would be around 30 mil plus for a Granit Xhaka. I don't see too many people paying it. Whether that's because of COVID or not, but I just don't see it. Probably because I don't think there's too much enough of for Xhaka's game for people to fork out big money for him. I don't mind Xhaka as a player, but I like Xhaka,
but I wouldn't pay that.
This is what I mean. So I don't. That's the problem where Arsenal are at. Lacazette, I think you'll get money for because of strikers, and he score goals, and he certain parts of the year, and then he work hard, and people will pay for
wages.
That. Yeah, people will pay for. Well, he's got a year left on his contract, and I think you could get 25 to 30 mil for Xhaka. I mean, Lacazette. But then after that, it's very bitty. It's the kids, and it's you're taking a risk with the kids, because we want 25 plus as a ballpark figure, because that's what people pay for kids nowadays. 25 plus for a first team kid, but they don't want to pay that because they don't know whether they're going to get someone who can play men's football consistently week in, week out. And £25 million for any club that's below top 8 is a lot of money. So it's that's what worries me again about players going out at Arsenal as well as players coming in. Players coming in is frightening for me, because I don't know the level. I don't know if Arsenal are going to follow through with it, because there's just too much talk. But it's the players out that worries me.
It's when you look at someone like, I mean, we're talking about Bissouma's 45. I can't see Arsenal paying 45 for anybody, but I'm not saying he's a bad player, but we're looking at that not 30, but he's maybe the second tier, isn't he? I mean, like, we want someone like Declan Rice. You know, if Declan Rice is going to come to Arsenal, as much as I like Xhaka, he can go and do one. If Declan Rice is coming to Arsenal, right?
Yeah,
I'll argue to the cows come home that he should be playing every week at the minute. But it's about what you're going to spend and who you're going to bring in. And with Bissouma, if you put him next to Partey, then you've got two inexperienced one who ain't played at the top level, one who's not even played at the Premiership, who's really struggling at the minute.
I don't see Arsenal going out and buying, spending £45 million on a player that they're going to lose two of their central midfielders to in the African Nations Cup every year or every other year when it is. That's a serious consideration that would have to be thought about long and hard. We've seen Liverpool struggle. They get through it, but this is Liverpool. And they've also got quite a bit of momentum when they do lose Salah and Mane, and they've not missed Naby Keita whatsoever. But Salah and Mane, they miss, but they still get through it.
Arsenal have got El Nene as well.
No. If he goes missing, then we're done for. If we lose Bissouma, El Nene, and Partey,
do you know,
done for.
Why do we always have to talk about, as Arsenal fans, and we do it, and I do it, and I've just caught myself doing it, and I'm trying to stop myself because I'm being a hypocrite. But why do we have to keep talking about players having to leave all the time because someone's coming in? oh, he's coming in, we've got to go, he's leaving.
No, for me, it's about
the most important thing. I think Jerome mentioned it on one of our shows, when we was doing a pre-match, and he stated that with Martinelli, we'd kind of work out why he wasn't on the bench. Sorry, why he wasn't playing. And Jerome pulled out and he said, "You need someone that, classy on the bench," and you do. You can't keep getting rid of all players.
Yeah,
it's so important these days.
Yeah, but when I'm talking about players going, it's I'm talking about players like Eddie and Nketiah. Like, we can't have that. Yeah. Our bench is not great. Our starting lineup is not great. So we can keep piling players on, but we need to get rid. Arsenal needs to get rid. It's not really a case of he's coming in, so he's got to go, one in, one out, because that's been a pet peeve of mine since we sold Edu about 20 years ago. And we were mismatched from there.
It's like, if Basuma came in, comes in and he gets injured, or Partey gets injured, and you look to the bench, and you think, and then Xhaka's warming up, you think, nice, that's okay. He'll drop in there. Mm-hmm. If he leaves, who's coming on? Who's taking their place? Another 18-year-old. So
I hear that. I hear that.
Yeah.
But Arsenal still need to get rid of players. I stand by that.
Arsenal were a squad full of squad players. That's what Arsenal's got. They've got players that
it's not bad description, mate.
Fill in.
Yeah,
that's what Arsenal have got.
Should be better than that, and this is why we're in the position we are.
They need players. Yeah, they need players that can go into the first team. They don't need any squad players. They've got a squad full of them.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The most. I'll tell you what. But the most important thing is like to bring players in, and for players that are on there now who we think's half decent, to get them in their office and convince them that if we bring someone in that's better than you, please stay. Please stay. Do not go, because you're not going. You're not nothing. Look. I'll give you a perfect example. Look at Kieran Tierney. Look what's happened.
I would love to have Brom out right now.
Xhaka left back. Cedric left back.
Yeah.
Even left backs.
Yeah.
And it's all because, and why? Probably because we sold Monreal.
Yeah, it was. They wouldn't give him a new contract. He wanted to stay. Unai Emery wanted Monreal to stay. But the ball were like, nah, he's got to go. I think it was an offer came in for him. He had a year left in his contract. They were like, nah, we've taken the money. So
how would you feel, Jerome, if like Tierney got injured and Monreal took his place and he was a left back for a few weeks or a couple of months? I'd be one.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we knew that Kolasinac was not a fullback from the time he came in.
Yeah, he's only got one, isn't he?
Yeah, sorry. Go on, Jerome. What are you saying?
Yeah, Kolasinac. Oh my God, he's just a crap player. It's another one. Kolasinac, a squad player. Cedric, who we signed, good squad player. But Arsenal, you've got to be in the market for first teamers, not squad players. El Nene, when he was bought, lovely, good squad player. Callum Chambers, Rob Holding, Marie's on the border of a first team and a squad player. They're all squad players, and that's why Arsenal were 9th in the league.
Yeah. It is.
Anyway.
Bit of truth. Hard-hitting truths.
That's a depressing 15 minutes. All right, Hector Bellerin, Steve. We've got a couple of more bits, then we're done. Hector Bellerin.
Hector Bellerin does look like he's leaving.
Yeah.
From what I'm hearing, he seems to be not happy at Arsenal. He's
on the bench now, isn't he?
On the pitch. He's on the bench, and it looks like he's leaving. And I've been told that if he does leave, which is a 90% chance that he does leave, we will be buying another right back.
Where's his destination likely to be? Milan, maybe?
I don't know. I haven't got the destination. I've just been told that he looks like 90% he's going to leave, and if he does, they will be buying a right back to come in to replace him.
They have to.
So
they have to. They can't scrimp and save on this one. It has to be the real deal.
And the same story goes for David Luiz. If he leaves in the summer, then Arsenal will be buying another centre back.
For me,
and this was confirmed
shouldn't be a should. For me, David Luiz shouldn't be a should. Okay, he's done a probably a better job than what others thought he would. He's been consistent to a certain extent. He's had some very good games. He's been a good leader. He's been a good around the dressing room. But I think we need to move on from David Luiz now. I think we look right now. We're in a situation at Arsenal where we're talking like, we really miss David Luiz. Like we need him back. Now that wasn't. Yeah, I know, and that's the craziest thing because that wasn't even a thing 6 months ago, like a year ago. It's like we shouldn't be. I don't think it's not one because David Luiz hasn't been bad, but Arsenal. It's like a get out of jail free card signing David Luiz on another year contract. Yeah. It's like just bite the bullet and get in a centre back. Just bite the bullet and get in a top draw centre back. Stop scrimping and saving with David Luiz because he ain't scrimped and saved. You're giving him this will be his third year. If he gets another year, it's 3 years. You basically paid what you would for a top defender now because of his wages, because of the sign-on fee, the agent fee, all of that adds up to you've probably spent about 30 million on a centre back now.
Would you be trying to get him to stay to cut his wages to stay at the club for his experience though? If he has a wage cut, and then you would bring a centre back in. Look at our backs. Look at our back four for a minute.
Yeah, but that's our fault. How long do we do that for? How long do we do that for? How long do we keep on?
We are, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, I know, but where we are is because we're doing that. Because we're doing that. Because we're not going, okay, 50 mil, bang, you. 50 mil, bang, you. 25 mil, bang, you. Okay, Rob Holding, sell. David Luiz, thank you very much. You've been good. It's time to go. Go to Benfica and retire. Yeah? No, because you've got Gabriel, Mari, you bring in a top draw centre back, and you've still got players like Callum Chambers there. You've still got Mastropanov who's still to come back. There's still other players. That there is free. Mari, Gabriel, and a top draw centre back. And then you've got your fourth choice, who is your Mastropanov or your Chambers. That's solid. Saliba. Remember, we've got Saliba. Like, we don't need David Luiz. Go out and spend 50 mil on a centre back, and they've got to fight out a place for Saliba, this top draw centre back, which I'm going to have dreams about tonight. I don't know who they are, and someone else. Like, it's just I can't deal with it again.
The chances of a £50 million centre back coming to Arsenal is.
It's done. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Arsenal watched Thomas Partey, and everyone in the world watched Thomas Partey for 4 or 5 years. They watched Thomas Partey obliterate Liverpool. Yet they had to get up a PowerPoint presentation and a breakdown of what Thomas Partey could do for Arsenal to get him on transfer deadline day. This board ain't serious. They're not serious. They're not serious. How dare you make me do a PowerPoint presentation to get in one of the best midfielders in Spain? Don't. It's a 50 million buyout clause. It's because they couldn't pay it for £2 a week for the next 15 years. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Ugh. Stresses me out, this club. Philippe Coutinho.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Philippe Coutinho. Got told this morning, very early this morning.
I saved this to last. I didn't realise we were going to go through all this pain for the last 20 minutes, yeah, but I saved this one till last. And I hope it's going to be some good news.
Philippe Coutinho, you remember him? Plays for Liverpool. Smashed up the Premiership when he was here. I've been told this morning that he will be leaving Barcelona. 100% he's going. It's just a mixture of bad form, injuries, loans. It's pretty much hampered his time at Barcelona, and they've all come to the conclusion that both club and Coutinho himself have agreed it would be best for him to find another club and move on, which is 100% right. The pros for the move is that many clubs would be interested in taking the midfield playmaker. Everton are interested, Inter Milan are interested, Leicester are interested, and Spurs are interested. Who wouldn't be? But Coutinho wants to go to Arsenal. He prefers to go to Arsenal. A big stumbling block, which I was told this morning, is his 350k wages a week.
And he fell over in my chair.
Some are saying he would be the perfect Odegaard replacement, which makes a lot of sense. If he leaves and goes back to Madrid, as her good friend Florentina Perez said in the week. As far as back to Coutinho, last summer, Arsenal, again this morning, were literally inches away from signing Coutinho. Inches. Literally wafer thin paper inches. Last page turnover sign. That close. But there was complications with wages. Arsenal wanted a loan with an option to buy, but Barcelona, the way that the theme to many transfers negotiations last summer, they I'm sure you can all remember that they wanted a full cash buy deal on
their money back.
Everybody. Arteta, massive fan, absolute massive fan. They get on really well. Being very vocal when the subject of Coutinho has been raised, of his admiration for him. I've learned that Arteta pushed hard in the summer for him to get him, and was gutted when the deal couldn't be completed. So Coutinho to Arsenal. Watch this space. I'd like to ask Jerome. He came up with a fantastic point, and he said, if Odegaard leaves, we know what we want now. After seeing what he can do, he's raised that bar to what Arsenal need. Is Coutinho that bar? Is he that replacement?
I think talent-wise, there's not much between them. He's going to be, by the time next season starts, he's going to be 29. So I don't know. I think he might be good for 1 or 2 seasons. Then after that,
ask me that question.
Yes, go on, Kieran. Yes, yeah.
I'll tell you right
The
now,
boss always
I'll
knows.
take Coutinho. Yeah, I will take Coutinho. Coutinho is a magician. Anyone that had doubts over Coutinho, what his form, his time at Bayern Munich, just see what he did when he came on, for Bayern Munich in the Champions League last season. He devastated, absolutely devastated. I think it was PSG. Devastated them. In the game before that, devastated them. Philippe Coutinho, is one of them players who, when he's not on the scene, you forget how good he is. You need to watch him again. We need to watch him again week in, week out, in an Arsenal kit, and you'll appreciate him. 29, good age, mate. This kid, this man doesn't even need pace anymore. He's still got pace, but he doesn't need it. Because he'd be one of them players that would just, there you go. There you go. He would adapt his game. If he lost his pace, he'd adapt his game. And he'd become like a Cazorla. Philippe Coutinho, Arsenal need players like Philippe Coutinho because Arsenal have moved away from having players in their team like Philippe Coutinho. They've moved away from that.
I mean, how annoying would it be? How annoying would it be if he went to somewhere like Everton?
Everton. I feel sick. What, Everton with Philippe Coutinho and James Rodriguez and Decore? No, they're officially better than us. No, it's official. Yeah. Like, it's not even a question. Like, do you know? It's not even it's not even a fair comparison to do that. It's not fair.
One thing that's 100% is that he's definitely leaving. When I asked the question at the end of our conversation, it was the biggest no that you've ever. The wind blew in my face. No, he's not staying. He will be leaving. So Aubameyang was 29 when he came to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Look what he done. I'd take him. There's that risk with any signing, isn't there? Yeah. It doesn't matter who it is. There's that risk.
It's weird because he's not playing a lot for Barca this season, and they haven't got the best team this season.
No, he's not. But do you know what? And I might get Reyes on just to like sort of clarify a few things with him. Yeah. Philippe Coutinho came in to Barcelona to replace Neymar. Yeah. He also came in to replace Iniesta. You can't replace Philippe Coutinho with Iniesta or Neymar. He's neither of them. So he was never on the right foot anyway. Yeah. And it's just one of them things where it's like you've expected something, you haven't got it. And it's so hard at Barcelona and Real Madrid to come back from that. It is so hard to come back from that. It's just like it's almost as if you've had bad form. It's very hard to be forgotten. So I don't think it's so much him as a player. Yes, he would have had bad games and he's not suited and stuff like that. But he's probably just not happy there. He's not feeling loved. He needs to be loved. And I think at any club he goes to, because it's going to be like no disrespect to anyone, but he's going to be below a Barcelona in stature, and he's going to be loved there. They'll love him. If he went to Arsenal, they'd love him. If he went to Everton, they'd love him. If he went to any of these kind of teams, they'd love him. I think it needs to be that. I think it needs to be a Spanish club that will love him or an English club that will love him. I don't know about Italians. I don't know if it would work. He was over there before. There's a bit more pressure and a bit more hype around him, but I think the atmosphere in England and Spain, I think that's what he is. I think he wants that.
Steve?
Well, one thing I can go on, mate. Sorry, yeah.
I wanted to ask you what would the fee be for Coutinho? Roughly, any idea?
Well, I think the first thing they'll try and do is try and get what they tried to get in the summer. I would have thought, to see if they'll go with that again, to see if they can get along with a bye at the end.
Oh, Arsenal, you mean, and not Barcelona? Yeah. How much would Barcelona want for him?
If Odegaard's 60, and if everybody's saying that Arsenal would buy Odegaard and they want Odegaard, so that tells you something that we must have 60 million.
I'd happily pay 60 million for Coutinho.
I'd take that 60.
I'd pay for 60. I'd pay 60 for Coutinho.
What did we pay for Aubameyang?
50 something.
Yeah.
50 something. Yeah, 50 something. I'd pay 60 for Coutinho. I think
55, 60, Jerome.
I think you get more. I think you get more for Coutinho than you do for Aubameyang, and that's not because we've seen because Aubameyang is an outstanding striker. Goals galore every season. So it's not a slight on. But I think as a midfielder in general, as the type of player that Coutinho is, I think you're just getting more for your money than you are Aubameyang with regards to the position-wise, what he could do with just opening up play, just a different type of player. He could bring. I think Philippe Coutinho would be a better player at Arsenal than Odegaard, just because of what he does, because of he scores goals, he sets up, he. It's hard to explain. I don't want to just say like he devastates players, but he kind of strikes fear in players and defenders. He makes them think because he embarrasses people because he's that Brazilian type of player. He's a plays in the cages and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? That type of player puts it through your legs twice. Yeah. He's that guy, and Odegaard's not that. Million. Yeah, I think Arsenal should pay it. 60. I think Arsenal should pay it.
And I mean, he may have been the first choice. Going by like the story that I was told this morning, it sounds like what they tried to do in the summer. Odegaard is probably maybe afterthought's the wrong word because that don't sound right really. But
second choice,
definitely
maybe.
second choice. Yeah,
I'm thinking an hour maybe a second choice then, or even a party may have been second choice because if you're talking about Xhaka's in there. El Neni's there. Where does he fit in there? I'm just trying to work out because the hour came after the Coutinho. Party came after both. Where
did Aouar come before William or after William?
William was first. William was first. I mean, there was.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
It was about, but William was in to the end of last season, the end of the previous season. William was actually the first video I done when I was walking down this road here on my phone, saying, "Should Arsenal buy William? I think they will because he's on a free." But yeah, it's just making me rethink the whole scenario of last summer because. If you're saying that we were that close to getting Coutinho, where does Thomas Partey and Aouar fit into that?
I don't think Aouar does.
I don't think he does.
Aouar does.
I don't think he does. I think maybe that he wasn't as.
I'm looking at
sought after in that way as it was thought.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment, you would look at. I'll be well happy going into next season with Xhaka, Partey, and Coutinho, and then in the front there as a free.
Well, it depends if they're bringing the front three. The team needs work.
The team gives me an headache.
Honestly, I don't. There's so many things that Arsenal needs to do for next year. It's worrying. It's because there's nothing that they've shown previously to make me feel like they're going to come through with it. No. That's what worries me.
If Arsenal get beat tomorrow, then for the next 10 years.
Yeah, they're done for. They're done for. Yep. Boom. On that note, People, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you, Kate, for joining us tonight. Thank you, Jonathan, for joining us tonight. Appreciate it. Hit the like and subscribe, people. Steve, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, cheers, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Look, this is what Arsenal have done to my mood. They've just made me feel empty now. Like, it's a sorry state of affairs. I stopped talking about Arsenal, apart from when it comes onto here, because it's too much stress, mate. It's too much stress. All right. Thanks for joining us tonight, Jerome.
Pleasure. Cheers. Thanks.
We've also got, don't worry, Jerome's got a few player profiles to come up. I forgot to give him this week, but he'll make up for it next week. All right. That's my fault. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Sorry we had to finish on that half hour of Arsenal rant. Yeah. The show was only meant to be an hour, 35 minutes over today, because we started speaking about Arsenal. Thanks so much for joining us, people. Peace out. Stay safe and wash your hands.